Harvey Weisenberg, now part of our show. And every week we call it the Weisenberg Perspective. And something in Albany, very, very special, is happening next week. The Assembly and the State Senate is honoring the gentleman to my right for 67 years of public service. The man wrote 337 bills, elected official for 38 years, and it's really unprecedented that the Senate and the Assembly is going to honor him, that they would honor one person. But it's all going to happen, and Harvey, welcome back to the show, but let's talk about this great honor you're going to be receiving based on your legendary career, and it's not just Democrats, it's Republicans as well that are going to be honoring you. So talk about what this means to you.
What this really means to me, it's an indication that the institution is a blessing. What an honor and a privilege to be able to be a representative in the state of New York. We have people, the diversity of our community, the people that live in the state of New York, working together to accomplish the needs of those that have to be served by government. It was very interesting. I mean, it's an honor to be honored by them because it's part of my life. Ellen and I spent 25 years in Albany, and everybody that we met became part of a family to us. So we had a love of the people that are there, Democrats and Republicans, and everybody that worked there. Because not many people understand the effort of government trying to do what they have to do, and the diversity that has to be done, especially when you're talking about so many dollars in a budget to meet the needs and the diversity needs of the people that live throughout the state of New York. But it's an honor because the privilege, the life experience that I had that is meaningful to me. I always said this, and I said this about my book, that God gave me an angel, a saint, and a mission. Ricky, our special child, is our angel. My wife is a saint, and the mission that I have to do what God has given me a mandate to do, basically, and that's meet the needs of people. So it's an honor and a privilege. But the success that I had in government up in Albany, where I was able to help people, the rewards of the job of being an elected official, as I see it, are the thank yous that you get from helping people. So this is something that unfortunately doesn't seem to appear very much, but we still have wonderful people who are elected to government that are trying to meet the needs of people. And when politics takes over government, you don't have government. So this is sort of a state that we're in presently. But the reality is the success that I had, I didn't do by myself. I did it because I was working with wonderful people, both staff and other elected officials, to accomplish the goals that we achieved.
Harvey, on tonight's show, I want to talk about one specific bill that you authored. Going back to the early part of 2000, it was a terrible tragedy that happened at a high school lacrosse game. A 14-year-old goalie named Louis Akampora, freshman goalie in lacrosse, took a shot to the chest. The ball hit him in the chest, and unfortunately the young man died from the impact of the ball hitting his chest. From that tragedy, Harvey was a former coach, came up with an idea for a bill to have a defibrillator at all high school sporting events, and that bill became law. Harvey, I know you wrote a lot of bills, but that was a bill that over the years has saved hundreds and hundreds of lives. Let's talk more about the defibrillator bill that you put in honor of Louis Akampora.
John and Karen Akampora, the parents of Louis, 14 years old, they were at his game and they witnessed the death of their only child. Being a coach and an athlete myself, this was kind of sad because you really feel you go out, you can give CPR and you will help somebody to be able to be brought back. But you go into ventricular fibrillation. That doesn't work. You need a defibrillator. So I passed legislation. I put a bill in. I called the family after reading about the story. and I asked them that I'm going to do something about this in Albany, and I would like their help and support. And they set up a foundation, by the way, and giving educational experiences to people throughout the state of and anywhere and everywhere that there is to go, to make people aware of how defibrillators work and how easy it is to be able to save another person's life. If I know to remember the statistics, there are about 350,000 cases that take place in this country in a year. And the reality was that I had to pass a bill. I worked with Randy Cool, a state senator from Buffalo, and we worked together to get this legislation passed. And it's interesting because when you have a bill, you put the bill in and then you vote, it goes through a committee and then it goes to the floor. And the people who are in favor will speak, or anybody who wishes to speak on that legislation will have an opportunity. And a member from Rochester got up in the assembly and questioned the purpose of my bill, and his feeling was that this is an unfunded mandate to schools, and we should not have to do this, we shouldn't do this, because it costs money, and the answer really is that we don't want to put any kind of financial burden on schools to be able to provide this kind of a resource. And I pressed the button and I said, will you yield? Which means, will you now listen to what I have to say? And he respectfully did. And I said, how much is a child's life worth? That was the end of the debate. Everybody was unanimous we passed this legislation. And he even came over and he said, it's a great bill and I thank you for putting it in. But the answer really is the American Heart Association honored my wife Ellen and I for the lives that we saved. And I can tell you, from having a living life experience of sitting at a table with 14 to 15 people and having their sons or their fathers or their people who were saved by having a defibrillator. These people I'm having dinner with Ellen, and they were pronounced dead. And they're alive here today having dinner. So it's a very emotional reward that you have. Like I said, the rewards are thank yous that you get, but it was a life experience. And not only did we pass it for our schools in the state of New York, basically, but I said I had to put another bill in to expand it to all schools, not just state schools, but all schools. And then it went to workout places, and it went to our building had employed more than 1,000 people. So this bill really reached out, and we saved an awful lot of lives. And that's the success of working together. It wasn't political, it was about people.
And I just want to add that I was at an event where I actually saw Harvey's bill save a life. It was a high school football game. Locust Valley was one of the teams playing, and the grandfather, or the quarterback, during the national anthem had a heart attack. They raced up with the defibrillator that was on, because of Harvey's law, that was on the sidelines, and they saved his life. Wasn't for your law, your bill, the man might have died. But that's just one instance where I saw it from my own eyes, being at a game and seeing defibrillator used in action. And there's probably been stories of many more lives that have been saved for that great bill. So Harvey, thanks for the, congratulations, for that tremendous honor, and that was a wonderful bill that has saved lives.
I just want to say the real heroes are the family that got together and worked so hard together to be able to take care of the fact that defibrillators were vitally important, and fire departments and teachers and coaches, everybody has opportunities to be lifesavers, and it was a wonderful thing. But the heroes are the families. There are many occasions that have taken place in government where people have lost their lives and tragic things took place. And the real success that we have in government is because people step forward and say, we don't want anybody else to have to suffer the losses that we've had on different situations. So God bless all our families, and I thank you for the opportunity to be able to say kind words. I also want you to know that Ellen and I were in Washington. We were honored in Washington because our bill was sort of unique throughout this country. And American Heart honored us, and it was just a wonderful life experience. because I'm going to tell you, there's nothing more gratifying in this world than being able to save another person's life or help a family. So thank you for this opportunity. God bless.